Hi guys, it's Ariel. So in my last video I said I wanted to start making some more videos, and I wanted to start with some Disney ones because I'm in a Disney group that has really brought out my love of Disney a lot, because I thought I have a lot of Disney stuff. I got nothing compared to some of the people in that group, and it's amazing to look at. And some people have such amazing movie collections and everything, and like stuffed animals and the pop figures, and oh my god, like everything in between. I love it. And it makes me want more so bad, but I do have to behave once in a while. However, I have quite a collection myself. Always have, probably always will. So I am deciding to show it off a little bit because I like seeing the collections. I like watching the videos of collection videos, all sorts of stuff. So I think I'm going to do like 3 of these, as I said in the last video, and I want to start with the movies because obviously everyone thinks of movies and Disney World when they think of Disney, and it just seemed like the easiest one to start with because with the pop figures I have to gather them all, or the stuffed animals I have to gather them all, and there's some stuffed animals that aren't actually out, so I'd have to dig them out, so this just seemed the easiest way to go. I have them behind me, as you guys might be able to see. Yeah, I think you can see that. I'm actually looking, I have my phone set up behind the camera. I was trying to use it as like a viewfinder. I'm not fancy enough to have a viewfinder. But yeah, I have all my movies behind me. I already got them out. Normally I keep them in my entertainment center, which is right behind me, as you can see that completely. I can see that you can see that. And I counted them before I started filming, and I have 73 DVDs. Some of those are Disney Channel original movies. Some of those are a little bit less thought of Disney movies, but overall they're the classics or the well popular ones. I don't have a lot of the actual classics, like I don't have Snow White, Pinocchio, Cinderella. I don't have the originals. I do plan on eventually getting those, but those don't tend to strike my attention as much. I like the more modern, I couldn't say that word for a second, Disney, but I really like all Disney, and I really, I'm drawn to anything Disney, and it's really fascinating to me, and I find it actually rather inspiring how much Walt Disney did in his lifetime, and how there's not a single person alive in most of the world that doesn't know who Walt Disney is, and I think that is so cool. So it's like, I don't know, I'm drawn to everything Disney, and I would like to get most of the movies at some point. But you know, Disney movies aren't exactly cheap unless you can find them somewhere really special, so I'm still building, always. I don't think that it's possible to have every single one unless you're a millionaire. Then again, I don't know, maybe somebody out there does have almost all of them. So I don't know what I'm saying now. I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. I think I'm going to show you like the overview of all of them, because like I said, I have 73, and one of them is not a movie. Actually, one of them is the Jonas Brothers concert that came out in 2008. I believe it was the Burnin' Up tour, I think, that they did it on. Don't ask how I know that off the top of my head. That's another story for another time. But yeah, so let me show you behind what I got back here. I decided to set it up with some pop figures and just a little Jafar for aesthetic. I don't know. But yeah, I will go through and show you. I decided to display it in alphabetical order because that's how I keep it in my entertainment center. That's how I have all my movies. And funny thing is, I think Disney is actually the majority of my movie collection. If I remember correctly, I have about, like I think it was 170 something, 78, 79, something like that. And obviously, like I said, I have 73 Disney movies, so that's a pretty decent chunk right there. But my entertainment center actually looks really bare right now because I took them all out to do this. So I'm trying to figure out how I wanted to describe this, and I'm thinking what I might do instead of like show you all of them, because you could pause the video and see it right there for yourself if you'd like to. I think I'm just gonna highlight my favorites, and like maybe the most recent one, because I just bought a couple of them. I get a lot of my movies from the flea market because I can find them cheaper out there, and not so much the Disney ones. The Disney ones I paid, I think the guy gave me a deal and I paid like 20 bucks for two of them, which, you know, most places are $20 for one Disney DVD. But they are used, so I mean, I guess that was even more expensive, but I want to build the collection and I know how much new Disney movies are, so it's kind of like, okay, I'll pay for it. So yeah, I think I'm just going to show you my absolute favorites, and maybe ones that, like, maybe you don't even realize are on DVD. Like a couple of the Disney Channel original movies, until I found them at the flea market, I didn't know they were on DVD. A lot of them aren't actually on DVD, so it's one of those things. Um, so hopefully this is interesting to anybody but me. I feel like maybe this is a waste of everybody's time. So as I was gathering my favorites out of the pile, I realized I accidentally included a couple that weren't Disney. So I want to correct myself in case you saw those. In the last clip, Matilda and The Corpse Bride got included, and those are not Disney. I don't know why I grabbed Matilda, because I knew that wasn't Disney. I think I grabbed it without looking, and just somehow didn't notice right away. I actually noticed that when I was watching back the clip, because in the middle of filming, my camera decided to die. So luckily I didn't miss anything. But, I actually didn't realize Corpse Bride wasn't Disney until I looked at the DVD better, because I knew it was Tim Burton. But for some reason, I think it was because I've remembered that theory where Night for Christmas and Frankenweenie and that are all one story. And I know, obviously, Night for Christmas is Disney. But it actually almost wasn't. So I guess that makes sense why it was Corpse Bride isn't. I knew Frankenweenie isn't, at least I don't think it is. Correct me. I don't know. I actually don't have Frankenweenie. I didn't really like it very much. Or is it Paranorman? All of a sudden I'm questioning myself if it's Frankenweenie or Paranorman. I didn't like either one. Actually, there's one I saw most of and didn't care for. There's one I actually don't think I've seen all the way through yet. Well, at all. Because I haven't seen one of them either. I don't know. I don't remember what I'm saying. I think it's Frankenweenie. It might be Paranorman. But yeah, so instead of having 73 then, because I counted them all, I actually have 71. 70 if you don't include the Jonas Brothers one, like I said earlier, which I do because it was through Disney. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there, that I realized my mistake on that. So I'm gonna go back to grabbing my favorites and like the Disney Channel original movies that I wanted to include on DVD, because I don't know, I felt like including those. I have a few of them because there's a few that I really enjoyed and found them on DVD, so I bought them. That's pretty much the only thought I had behind that. I think I'm gonna start with my favorites. I don't have an absolute favorite Disney movie. I would say, if you push me to say something though, it would probably be Brave or Lilo and Stitch or Tangled. See, I can't even name one like that. Those would be my top three though. Don't know what order. But yeah, I'd say those are definitely among my favorites. And then it's kind of funny because some of the favorites I've had pretty much my whole life, like Lilo and Stitch, that came out in 2001, I believe, so I was a kid when that came out, and I remember seeing it when it was new. I don't remember seeing it in theaters. I probably did, but I don't remember it, and I've loved it ever since, and I'm pretty sure I've had the DVD ever since, and I'm big, so I would say that's definitely a favorite. And obviously to go with it is Stitch, Lilo and Stitch 2 and Stitch the movie. I do not have Leroy and Stitch, but I need to get it because I would include that. I would say out of the three though, Leroy and Stitch is not my favorite, but I really like all of them. And I just think, to me, Lilo and Stitch is a classic, and I adore it. It's just like my favorite. Pudge controls the weather, and every Thursday is sandwich day. Just throwing that out there. And then, let's see, as I said, Tangled and Brave, helps if I hold that right. Tangled and Brave are my favorites. I actually want to say, I've decided that there's a reason for that. The reason, I think, is Rapunzel is very close to my own personality, and then Merida is how I wish I was. think that's it because, you know, obviously she's brave and, you know, very adventurous and outgoing and all that. And then Rapunzel is the absolute sweetheart that everybody adores, that has a lot of fear she needs to overcome. That's me in a nutshell. Just, I have the red hair, not blonde. So there's that reasoning. Not that I guess I need a reason, but then Monsters Inc. I have said Monsters Inc. was my favorite for a long time. I have kind of gotten away from it some, but I still obviously really appreciate it, obviously really love it, that sort of thing. So that's included. I also really like Monsters University, which I do have. The funny thing is, I actually didn't have the DVD for Monsters Inc. And then right before Monsters University came out, I insisted I needed to get it because I had it on VHS. But obviously, most VCRs, why did I start to say VHS players? Most VCRs, though, quit working. Ours quit working years and years ago. So I don't have the VHS anymore, and if I do, it's in my brother's room. But, I insisted I had to get it, found it one day, and it actually came with a free ticket for Monsters University. So, even more reason to get it, if you ask me. Next one is another kind of classic, The Parent Trap. And I actually have a fun memory with this. A friend of mine, and I started doing this thing about once a week where we'd watch it and eat Oreos and peanut butter, because they do that in the movie. Because one time I was over at her house and we were looking through the guide on the TV, just trying to find something to kill time with, and this was on. And we both were like, oh my god, I love that movie so much. So we turned it on, and we realized we both can quote it, so we would go back and forth quoting lines. We never did learn the handshake, though. We tried. It didn't work. I miss that. I miss when we used to do that. It's been several years, but it was so much fun, and I still can quote most of it, because it was just a tradition. Like, if we went more than 2 or 3 weeks without doing it, it was weird. Like, even our parents started accepting it, that it was a weekly thing. Why? I don't know. Most people do it with, like, a famous TV show or something. We do it with The Parent Trap. I only have 4 more favorites to show you. One of them, it's kind of funny because it's an older movie. When I earlier said I'm not a big fan of the classics, but it's actually Alice in Wonderland. And the funny thing is, I had never seen the original until the Tim Burton version came out. I just never watched it for some reason. And then after I liked the Tim Burton version, I got curious and found it at the flea market for, it says $12 on the back, but I think he gave it to me for $10. And it's actually the Blu-ray, but I don't think the Blu-ray disc is in it. I think it's only the DVD, which was fine with me because I don't have a Blu-ray player. And I honestly don't see the difference. I really don't. But this has grown to be a favorite with me. I love how odd it is. Like, it's just so out there. And I have the book as well. And the book also has Through the Looking Glass, which I do have. I just didn't include it. And I don't know, there's just something really fascinating to me about it, and I really enjoy it now. I kind of wish I would have watched it sooner. Let's see, I only have the 3 others, which are Lion King, which is just a staple. If you haven't seen Lion King, what's the matter with you? One of my bosses at work hasn't, and we all have been shunning him ever since. I'm not joking. And then I have Hakuna Matata on my wrist, so again, shame. Although I will say, I do not have Lion King 2. I have Lion King 1.5, but I actually don't even remember seeing Lion King 2. I'm pretty sure I have. Which is Lion King 2 Simba's Pride, right? I haven't seen it yet. If I have, I really don't remember it. So I need to fix that. One of the absolute newest, actually it is the newest, Moana. Who hasn't loved Moana? If you haven't seen it and you haven't liked it, I mean, that's fine, but I am surprised. And I really like that, and I also think it's kind of funny because I recently heard that all of Europe doesn't call her Moana, they call her Viana. I might be saying that wrong. Because Moana was a porn star that died in the 90s. That came from France? Italy? Italy. I think it was Italy. Ironic that I said France. Ratatouille. I love Ratatouille. And next to the camera is a little Remy and a mule, because I love it. I still need to get the Linguini pop figure. More pop figure stuff will be in another video. I loved it. I love rodents, and I think that's probably why but I really like it, and I actually have a memory of seeing it in the theater because we actually had gone to see Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Something had gone wrong with the screen where it was really bad. One of the last scenes, there was like an explosion in the movie and the screen went blank. We could hear everything that was going on, but we couldn't see it. And then they gave us all passes to come back, and then we decided to go see Ratatouille because we had a free ticket, and if I remember correctly, not much else was in theaters, and I wanted to go see it, so we did. And I just think it's really cute, and I love it, and I love the whole concept of anybody can do whatever they want. Obviously, this is anybody can cook, but I really like that concept of you can do what you want. So yeah, that was all of my favorites. I love all of those, and like obviously I have other ones that I really enjoy as well. Like Beauty and the Beast obviously is kind of a classic. Ironically, I don't like The Little Mermaid very much. I do have it, and I also have the second one. I actually like the second one better than I like the first one, which is really weird. Because most of the time that doesn't happen. But I don't care for it, and ironically, I'm named after The Little Mermaid, so what of that? I don't know. I just have never cared for it that much. Obviously I appreciate it and I like it, and every now and then I'll turn it on because I feel like it. But everyone always is like, oh my god, since you're named after her, that must be like your favorite thing ever, right? And I'm like, no. Like, give me anything else over that, pretty much. Controversial, I know, because a lot of people absolutely adore The Little Mermaid. I just don't. My thing was always, growing up, I was like, she gave up her voice for a guy that didn't even acknowledge that she didn't speak for 3 days. And now I'm just like, I feel like they could have done more with her character. I actually like the original story way better. The original story is very dark. So the next thing I want to do was talk about the Disney Channel original movies, which, I mean, I have some of the very popular ones, like Cheetah Girls 1 and 2, High School Musical 1, 2, 3. And I know the third one isn't a Disney Channel original movie because it was in theaters, but you know, I had to include it. But first, before I get into that, I wanted to include one that I don't think I've watched it even though I have it. It's The Sorcerer's Apprentice. I forgot this was Disney, to be perfectly honest with you, and I bought it because I found it for $1.50 at the flea market. It's pretty much the only reason why I bought that. But yeah, with the Disney Channel original movies, I kind of just have a handful here. I had a massive obsession with High School Musical growing up, so I actually have had this DVD since it came out. I think I've had all 3 of these since they came out, but I've had this since 2006, because it came out, fun fact, and I don't know why I remember this, it came out the week of my birthday, so it actually probably came out like came out 11 years ago this week, I think. I'll have to check out of curiosity to see exactly when. But yeah, I remember my best friend bought it for me, and I actually used this DVD as a way to get her to audition for a play that I even chickened out of, because she had bought it for me and then she wanted to borrow it. And I was like, I'll let you borrow it if you just audition. She did, and then I had to let her borrow it for like 2 weeks. But, so yeah, I have 1, 2, and 3, and I was so obsessed with High School Musical at the time that I could probably still quote most of the lines, and I know every song. So, there's that. Then I have all the Camp Rock ones, because as I mentioned earlier, I really like the Jonas Brothers, and I was obsessed. I actually haven't even opened this one, though. I got it at FYE, apparently used for $4, and I just couldn't help myself. Cheetah Girls, I feel like at the time I really liked this, and now it's just like nostalgia. Like, I really don't care, but I have it. And I won't get rid of it. That came out really southern. And then this is a newer one, I want to say. I don't remember what year it came out. And I'm not finding, 2012. Jeez, it came out that long ago. I adored this because I love music, and this was her like finding herself through music, and I was just like, I love it. So I had to buy this one. I actually bought this one brand new, which is rare for me. Normally I buy them used if I can. Not like the massive movies, but like even those if I can. Read and Weep, I really liked it because I'm a writer, and I remember loving that when that was new. Cadet Kelly. I got so excited when I found this at the flea market one day because Hilary Duff was like my favorite thing growing up, and I remember this movie when it was new and I loved it. So again, there was that. Princess Protection Program, which I thought was pretty good. Twitches, like, I don't know if anybody remembers that. I don't have the second one. I feel like I used to have the second one. I don't now though. I remember when I was younger, I used to do this thing where I would get rid of things every like 6 months, and now I realize you don't do that. Max Keeler's Big Move, I actually haven't even watched this DVD, and the box is pretty torn up, so it might not even work. I bought it mostly because I remember watching it on Disney Channel, and I had no idea it came out on DVD. So that was pretty much why I bought that. Jump In, again, does anybody remember this one? It came out right after High School Musical. We've had it since it was new. I don't think I've watched it ever since it was new, but still. And then two that I was very happy to find was Halloween 1 and 2 on one DVD, and then Halloween Town High. I love the Halloween Town movies, and I always got so disappointed because I'm like, I would want to watch it in like June, and I couldn't watch it until like October because Disney Channel only plays around Halloween, obviously. But I have the mentality of Halloween could be any day of the damn year, so there's that. So yeah, I went through all of that, and then the rest is just extras. I don't think there's any other ones that I really feel compelled to speak about, so I'm not going to because this video is already incredibly long. Stay tuned because I'm going to make a video about the clothing that I have and all the stuffed animals and pop figures and whatever else I can find. I have some pins and stuff. Not like the normal pins that you get at Disney World. I have like buttons that you get at like Hot Topic. But I have a couple that actually came from Disney World too, and I'll show it to you. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Stay tuned because more will be coming soon. Now I gotta go put all these away because I'm kind of surrounded by movies. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have a collection, please show it to me because I adore them. It's fun. I'll talk to you later. Whoa, I can't speak. Talk to you guys later. Bye.